Before the bright lights of America's Got Talent, before the thunderous applause and standing ovations, there was a small, quiet village in the Philippines where Marcelito Pomoy's story truly began. The morning sun rose gently over narrow dirt roads and simple wooden homes, where life was defined by hard work and survival. As a child, Marcelito knew hunger, loss, and loneliness far too early. His days were spent helping wherever he could, running errands, doing chores, and finding small ways to support himself. But in the middle of hardship, there was one thing that never left him: music. Marcelito would sing while sweeping floors, while walking through crowded streets, and even in moments when no one was listening. His voice carried emotion beyond his years, echoing through alleyways like a secret meant to be discovered. Neighbors would stop and listen, surprised by the strength and purity of the sound coming from such a humble boy. Sometimes, Marcelito sang not for an audience, but for himself. Music became his shelter, a place where pain softened and hope quietly grew. At night, under a sky filled with stars, he imagined a life far beyond his village, a stage where his voice could be heard, a place where dreams didn't feel impossible. He had no formal training, no expensive instruments, and no clear path forward. What he had was belief. Every note he sang carried a silent promise to himself that one day, his voice would lift him out of struggle. As the scene closes, young Marcelito looks toward the horizon, unaware that the streets that shaped him would soon lead him to one of the biggest stages in the world. Years pass, and the boy who once sang on the streets of the Philippines is now a grown man, still humble, still carrying the weight of his past, but stronger with every step. Life has changed, yet Marcelito Pomoy never forgets where he came from. One ordinary day, as he goes about his routine, his phone rings. The voice on the other end delivers words that feel unreal, an invitation to compete on America's Got Talent, Champions. For a moment, Marcelito is silent, unsure if he heard correctly. Then emotion rushes in, shock, gratitude, and fear all at once. The journey to America feels like a dream unfolding in slow motion. As Marcelito boards the plane, memories of his childhood flood back, the dusty streets, the long nights, the songs he sang just to survive. Now, he is traveling halfway across the world, carrying not only his own hopes, but the pride of the Philippines. Backstage at AGT Champions, the atmosphere is intense. Bright lights, massive screens, and world-class performers surround him. Marcelito looks around, quietly steadying his breath. These are champions from around the globe, winners, fan favorites, legends. He feels small, but not unworthy. He closes his eyes and whispers a short prayer, reminding himself why he is here. Behind the judges' table sits Simon Cowell and the others, ready to critique the very best. Marcelito knows Simon's reputation: honest, fearless, impossible to impress. As his name is called, he steps toward the stage, heart pounding. The boy from the Philippine streets is gone. In his place stands an artist ready to show the world a gift that defies belief. The theater falls silent as Marcelito Pomoy walks onto the AGT Champions stage. The lights are blinding, the audience a sea of faces fading into darkness. He stands calmly at the center, hands slightly trembling but posture steady. With a gentle smile, he introduces himself, his accent soft, his confidence quiet. Simon Cowell watches closely, expression neutral, arms crossed. This stage has seen countless great singers, but only a few truly unforgettable ones. The music begins. Marcelito opens his mouth and releases a deep, controlled male voice, smooth and emotional. It fills the hall with warmth and strength. The judges exchange polite looks. It's good, very good, but nothing yet prepares them for what comes next. Then, without warning, Marcelito shifts. His voice transforms into a pure, soaring female soprano, delicate yet powerful, rising effortlessly above the orchestra. The audience gasps. Eyes widen. A wave of disbelief sweeps through the room. Simon leans forward, his eyebrows lifting in surprise. Heidi's mouth drops open. Marcelito moves seamlessly between voices, male to female, strength to tenderness, each transition flawless. It doesn't feel like a trick. It feels natural, as if two souls are singing through one body. The judges are no longer evaluating, they are witnessing something extraordinary. Whispers ripple through the crowd. Phones rise into the air. Goosebumps spread. Every note lands perfectly, carrying raw emotion that cuts through language and borders. Marcelito's face remains focused, his eyes closed as if lost inside the music itself. As the song builds, tension grips the room. The audience is frozen, afraid to breathe. This is no longer just a performance, it is a moment that will be remembered. A moment when the judges, and America, realize they are hearing something they may never hear again. As Marcelito Pomoy continues, the performance rises to a level no one in the theater expected. His voice flows effortlessly between male and female tones, each note richer and more emotional than the last. The music swells, and with it, the feeling that something historic is happening. The audience is no longer just watching, they are completely captured. Faces show disbelief, wonder, and pure admiration. Simon Cowell sits still, his usual sharp expressions gone. His eyes are locked on Marcelito, studying him not as a critic, but as someone witnessing raw, undeniable talent. Heidi presses her hands to her chest, visibly moved. Howie shakes his head in amazement, mouthing a quiet, wow. The judges aren't speaking because words feel unnecessary. As Marcelito reaches the most difficult part of the song, his control remains flawless. The female voice soars high and clear, sending chills through the room, then gently falls back into the deep, emotional male register. The transitions are seamless, almost unreal. The audience begins to rise from their seats, some wiping away tears, others holding their breath in shock. The final note hangs in the air, powerful and perfect. For a split second, there is complete silence, as if the entire theater needs a moment to process what they've just witnessed. Then, suddenly, the room erupts. Cheers explode, applause thunders, and people jump to their feet. Marcelito stands still, overwhelmed, his chest rising with heavy breaths. He bows his head, fighting back emotion. This was more than a performance, it was proof that talent, born in struggle, can cross oceans and touch hearts everywhere. In this moment, America isn't just impressed. It is completely, undeniably stunned. The applause refuses to fade. The entire theater is on its feet, clapping, cheering, shouting Marcelito Pomoy's name. The sound crashes over him like a wave, and for a moment, he can hardly believe it's real. His eyes glisten as he looks out into the crowd, strangers united by one voice, by one unforgettable moment. Simon Cowell stands slowly, shaking his head in disbelief. When he finally speaks, his words carry rare admiration. He calls Marcelito's voice one of the most unbelievable sounds ever heard on this stage, admitting that he has never experienced anything quite like it. The crowd erupts again. Coming from Simon, this praise means everything. Heidi wipes away tears and tells Marcelito that his performance felt like magic. Howie calls it perfection, saying the world has just discovered something extraordinary. Each comment pushes the moment higher, turning a stunning performance into a life-changing breakthrough. Marcelito listens humbly, hands over his heart. He thanks the judges, his voice shaking, not in song this time, but in gratitude. He speaks of his homeland, his struggles, and the dream he carried from the Philippines to this stage. As the camera pulls back, the golden lights of the theater shine down on him. This is no longer the boy singing to survive. This is an artist who has conquered one of the biggest stages in the world. The scene closes with Marcelito smiling through tears, realizing that his voice has not only shocked America, but opened a new chapter in his life, one filled with hope, pride, and endless possibility.